Hello, this is Colleen McLain with the Center School District in Kansas City. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can set up a self-checking feature where students drag a target to a box that will check students' work on interactive notebook activities. So let's look at how this is going to work. In this activity, I have set this up so that kids are sorting by large, larger than largest. So when you sort this, if you think about a man being large, a car being even larger than a man, but a house being largest of all, kids put their clip art in order, and then they use the target, drag it across to the box, and then they check. So you can see that with my clip art, I've made it just slightly transparent, so kids will still be able to see what their own answer was in addition to the answer that it should be. So how do you develop an activity like this? Let me first show you how I developed this, and then we'll look at putting in the target together. This particular activity, I inserted a rectangle for the table and then separated it with the line tools. I gave it titles, large, larger, and largest, and then inserted clip art. I opted not to use the table feature in Notebook, and here's why. I have on this page an example where I actually have used the table feature, and what it does is it resizes the clip art. I didn't want the clip art to be resized. This activity was developed for a younger learner, and so I just opted to use the rectangle tool rather than the table so that my clip art didn't get distorted when I was using it. Okay, so back to my example. After I have the activity itself set up, next we need to figure out how we're going to put in the target. First thing that I do is I insert a square that you can drag the target to, and by double-clicking the square, you can type right in it. So I'm just going to type my directions, drag, target here to check. Now, the problem with typing right in your square is it has a tendency to blow your square away if your text is too large. So let's just go ahead and resize the text right now. And then, oops, I didn't quite get it all. And then we'll have to resize the square as well. No big deal. It is kind of nice in that if you insert your text in this manner, you don't have to worry about grouping the text to the rectangle. Next, I need to search for my target. Now, you can see that I've already done that here, but I've gone to my gallery tab, I've inserted what it is that I want to search for, and then I'm going to pull my target out over into my notebook page. The target comes over huge, so let's just go ahead and resize it, but we've already made our square with our directions, and now we can just kind of resize that target so that it'll fit right on top of that square that we just did. So we have our activity set up, we have our target developed, we have our box made. The next thing we're going to do is clone the clip art. Now the reason why you want to do this is so that you have clip art that you can manipulate for actually making the portion of this activity that the kids will use to self-check. So with your clip art cloned, go ahead and put it into position so that the answer is correct. Now we need to group all of this. So again, I'm going to drag and select all of the clip art. And let me just tell you one thing. This was not my idea. I got this idea from another teacher. But you can make this clip art transparent. So by going into the fill effects, if you make it just a little bit transparent, the kids will still be able to see through it to see in the background if their answer that they put into the categories is actually correct. So anyway, little side trick there. But with all of your clip art still selected, I'm now going to select the target as well, and we're going to group all of this together. So you can see my 3 pieces of clip art are selected along with the target, and I'm going to group all of this together into one. Now all I need to do is reposition the target, there it goes, off to the corner of the page, so that the answers are not visible when you go to actually complete this activity. One final note here, you might want to lock in place anything that you don't want the kids to be able to move. For example, our box over here that they are going to drag the answers to. And I believe I already locked in place the table that the kids will be using for their template structure as well.
So at this point, students can come up, they can manipulate the clip art to solve the problem that you've made, drag the target over, and check their answers. The sample we just set up together shows a target, but in this example here, students are just dragging a tab to check their answers. So don't forget about the thematic targets as well. So now the students are ready to interact with your activity and can check the answers without help from you. Of course, this frees you up to help other groups or individual students. This makes for a great small group activity or even individual interactive smartboard practice. The students will be engaged and will have immediate feedback on their practice on the smartboard.